That's not his name,
Right.
DeVille, and that is 55. And then there should be one car. I put car instead of card.
You did good then, so I missed it. I don't think it can see forward so bad where they put targets up.
I know you on
All over.
I have.
And I don't even think around, like,
Yeah,
oh,
I
what
know
do
it's possible, probably look on the assets.
I have to go back and look at the agenda.
I think you can
I
play.
just want to know.
Yeah, I have to go back and look at the agenda.
Right behind it.
I didn't bring it. I didn't want to.
Yeah.
Depends on what you say.
Yeah, I think that's,
We did get that rubber band. for
I'll
us. We
look,
want to shoot somebody.
I have,
Yeah,
after.
That's what I'm adding, that's why they didn't push it down far enough. Yeah. I'm afraid you would.
There you go. Keep this closer to this way.
Hey. Feeling good.
Yeah, I haven't been doing it lately. I just never have everything.
How's everybody doing this morning?
Good, thanks.
Doing well, doing well. Not quite. We're almost there.
I didn't bring my letter over.
Want that fan on? Got hot now? I'm turning it down.
I'm passing them out.
Figure that.
You brought your coffee tonight? We got a short. I'm passing it out.
Still working.
I know. I've got 10 o'clock.
You're supposed to pray.
You are doing prayer and.
All right, let's pray. Lord, we thank you for another day in life. We thank you, Lord, for the health and the strength that you provide for each and every one of us as we follow your word and spiritual, physical, mental, financial. Lord, all the answers are there if we just look. Lord, we just thank you for our community. We thank you for our county, our people. We thank you, Lord, that we have the opportunity to vote this week and then on March the 5th. We pray that we have exercised that liberty so that it won't be taken away from us. We pray that you give us wisdom today as we do the county's business and that we do good things for our people. We ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to you, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Good morning, everyone. Appreciate you all being here. Feels like spring is sprung. I hope that's the case. We can just do it without the winds. Of course, what would we be without winds around here? Okay, at this time, any person with business before the court not scheduled on the agenda may speak to the court. No formal action can be taken on these items at these meetings. Each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes. I don't see any takers today. Yes, ma'am.
Just gonna let everybody know, and so that it's on the record, Tuesday, election day, my office will be closed to the public so that we can make our rounds and help everything, do everything. We still will answer telephone calls. If anybody's got a phone call, need to answer a question, need help, they can call the office, but we will be closed.
Well, I'll call you.
You can call me.
We will post that.
Yes, please.
I'll get it in Friday's paper. I'm sorry, I'll get it in Friday's paper as well.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Yes, please.
Something in there. Got a voting story for tomorrow, but
Huh?
I said I've got a voting story for tomorrow. But
Okay.
that's a long going, but I'll get something for Friday for you. Okay, presentation and discussion of Department A Committee and Board reports. Any thoughts or discussion on those? Jason, did you want to speak to yours at all, or is it self-explanatory? Since you're here, are there any questions?
I did. I will spare the court with
unless they have any other questions.
Thank you for your time.
You get to be Rodney Dangerfield today.
No mistake.
All right, any discussion on the board reports? Okay. Old business court to consider approval of previous court minutes. I looked, I did not see anything.
We got a few.
Yeah. I'm
And
assuming
they're
that
corrected.
corrected.
Yeah. They're corrected.
Yeah, I gotta confess, I didn't work that.
And it was the same to you, so
They were few and far between. We're good.
just some spelling errors.
You wouldn't want me to type on that.
Oh. No, I can't spell.
Well, when you leave the D off the word card, spell check doesn't catch that.
Right, 'cause
So
it's a
it turns
word.
out to be a car.
Oh, well. It happens.
Make a motion to approve the minutes, save for corrections.
All right, court to discuss and consider interprecinct project schedule and staffing.
We should get through the first phase of block line this week. Looks really good. 4 foot on each side. Really, really good. Appreciate the other precincts sending help.
What is, so you said first phase?
We're putting 4 foot of cleaching on each side.
Okay.
And when it warms up, we'll go back and we'll prime it.
Mhm.
We're gonna double chip seal what we put down, then we're gonna chip seal from 350 to 4 stop.
Okay.
And it's part of the tech stock grant, so.
Cool.
But it looks really good.
Good.
Really does.
Already have some comments.
Yeah, both
Truck
of them.
drivers, they are very
Yes.
happy about it.
Yeah,
Something that need to be done.
Okay. That's been a narrow one.
Yes.
well, it's got traffic on it like you wouldn't believe.
Yes.
But the sheriff's deputies, I got to thank them. They come out and keep the cars and trucks off the guys, and
Good.
they've done a really good job.
That's good. Glad to hear that. Good. Okay, the bathroom has been installed at the park, at the trails. They have done a dig test. They will, get the electrician, he's gonna go put the meter base on there. Big Country's gonna come over and ditch the electrical over to it. Plumber's gonna plumb in the sewer line. Mark's is gonna do the water line. One thing I missed when ordering this is that, so there's 3 stalls in there. It goes to within 16 inches of the top, didn't go all the way to the top, the walls. They do that for ventilation. There's one air conditioner in there that's supposed to like the whole thing. Had a conversation with them about that. I was not pleased with that because, and I had different people look at it, 5 different people, and say they would not use that if it's individual restrooms. So what we're gonna do is, they said that it would cost $850 to actually do the work and then another $2,500 for a change order. I said, we can do that. So we're gonna close that in all the way to the top and put vents within so that they can't climb over or look over into each one. Also looking at putting mag locks on each of the doors with a timer so that overnight they'll automatically lock and they'll come open at a certain time during the day. Try those there, and if that works out, then we'll do those at the rest of the park bathrooms to eliminate any kind of issues at night. So that's where that is. Hadn't heard anything recently. Last I heard was that middle of March will be when they come in and put in the pump track. So a few weeks away from that.
Is that ground ready for it? Or we still need to grub it? No, they already did. I think we can't tear it. We get,
No, go ahead.
we get through the block line, the first phase.
Mhm.
If Sid has found the millings, we will go do the cart paths
Mhm.
next.
Okay.
Then we will go to walking trail.
Perfect. Millings are in Sweetwater.
Okay.
I talked to Carrie about 2 weeks ago now. We'll have to haul them, but they are there whenever we need.
I get there on the east side of Sweetwater.
I'm not 100%. I don't know. I will find out exactly where they are and I'll let you know.
We're gonna do bids or a little bit, and
Hauling is in there.
I've had everything mine hauled,
Mhm.
and it's cheaper.
Okay.
And let's
Let y'all work.
us keep going.
Okay.
And, anyway, that's the plan.
Very good.
Good.
Anything else? Okay. New business, court to consider accepting donations to county entities. The senior center had donations of $619 and $24.88.62. That is wrong. I'm glad I didn't say that out loud. For a total of $3107.62. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right now that I redid the math.
I make a motion to approve the donations to county entities, Scurry County Senior Assistance Center.
All in favor? All right. Court to hold a public hearing to discuss the renewal or reauthorization of the guidelines and criteria for the tax abatement guidelines for Scurry County. We have two, outside the city limits and inside the city limits. And, this is for 312 agreements. This is, for businesses such as aquaculture, agricultural facilities, distribution center facilities, manufacturing facilities, office buildings, regional entertainment tourism facilities, research facilities, regional service facilities, historic building in the designated area, wind energy facilities, residential commercial property, renewable energy facility, or other basic industry. Project must add at least 100,000 to the tax rolls or create at least 5 new full-time jobs to be eligible. And it goes up to 15 million, I believe. It's scheduled on the last page. That's what can be done and how they're staggered out. So, 100,000 to 5 million, 100% the first year, 75 second, 50 the third, and 25 fourth year, 5 to 15 million, 100 the first 2 years, 75 the third year, 50 the fourth year, 25 the last year, and then anything over 15 million is 100% up to 10 years. And generally we do pilot payments, payment in lieu of taxes on those. We've done lots of those. Ineligible properties are animals, inventory, supplies, tools, furnishings, and other forms of movable personal property, vehicles, vessels, aircrafts, housing or residential property except residential commercial property built for resale, hotels, motels, fauna, flora, retail facilities except when housed in a historic structure within the designated downtown district. Property be rented or leased except as provided in Part 4 of F. Any improvements, including those to produce, store, distribute natural gas or fluids that are not integral to the operation of the facility, property owned or used by the state of Texas or its political subdivisions. So those are the big points of that.
I didn't notice it. It excludes historic.
Well,
Except in regards to the historic downtown area where there are no minimums.
right, so in
in section 3, authorized facility does include historic building.
Okay.
Got it. So this was saying that retail facilities, except if they're in a historic building.
Okay.
So it's reversing it, so if it's historic, they can
Okay.
do it if it's a retail facility. Any discussion from the public on the 312 agreement?
Is only the 312 being addressed today, not like a 381?
Yes, ma'am. So I've done a lot of research into the 381s, and that's sales tax. And every county I have talked to has not done a 381. Not sure why. I'm not sure if the court would want to look into them, but we have no guidelines for 381s because we've never had anyone come to us wanting to do a 381. And
No program for it, or it's not offered, so why would?
well, I mean, like I said, the research that I've done, there is not a county that I have talked to that has ever done a 381. They're generally done inside the cities because there's so much more sales tax within the city. You're looking at 0.5 cent for the county. And I think part of it is because don't know for sure if it would be beneficial to them or not as far as the fees that they have to pay versus what they'll get back. And if it's within the city limits, the city has to start that process. So if, they'll get an additional 0.5 cent if they do a 381 in the city and then they come to the county to do one within the city.
Right, the city offers the 380, and it's really the most flexible tool that we have. It's not just sales tax. You can roll a lot of things into a 380 agreement. Even some cities are rolling in, instead of a 312, it's phasing out, that everything's being rolled into a 380. So I was just wondering if the county was looking at a 381 for the smaller ones, for not the wind farms and not the solar farms that are millions of dollars a project, but if there was something for the smaller businesses that are coming in or they're wanting to expand.
Yeah.
So I just saw it on here, it didn't say 312, so I just wondered if only 312 was being talked about.
Yeah,
or if
that's
it
the
was a
only ones
381.
today. And that's something that I'm willing personally to look at to see if it would be beneficial to everybody. And I can bring it to the court at a later time and see if that's something that they want to look at doing as a 381 agreement. But like I said, I don't know that there's even a one that I can borrow from another county to even begin to put one together, because I haven't seen one. I haven't talked to anyone that has done one, even large counties. If you find one, please let me know, and I'll definitely look at it. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. And it's sales tax we're not getting, so, and I really don't know all the ins and outs of this agreement, so. But yeah, we'll look at it. This one has come up at this time, so. Yeah.
I appreciate it.
So that we could get a copy from the city, you think?
We could look at the city, yeah, and then compare this to how it would be different.
For comparison.
Yeah.
So I'll make a motion to approve.
Well, we're still in the public
Oh, sorry.
hearing. Any further discussion? Okay, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing. Okay, any court discuss and consider the renewal or reauthorization of the guidelines and criteria for the tax abatement guidelines for Scurry County? Is there anything you want to move from authorized or unauthorized, ineligible, either way? You want to leave it as it is?
I didn't see anything wrong with the way it's going.
Okay.
Myself.
Okay. Just wanted to throw it out there, see if there's anything that needed to be changed in any aspect of it, not just that, but the values or anything.
They can help, pretty much covers everything.
Right. One thing that was brought up to me was, making ineligible, inventory supplies and things like that, but we've got it already listed, in ineligible. So,
inventories changed.
Yeah, they did.
I can understand why it's.
I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the 312 tax abatement guidelines as presented.
All right, all in favor? Okay, thank you. All right, court to discuss and consider amendment to tax abatement agreement with Canyon Wind Farm LLC. Thought this was gonna be put on the agenda, discuss it real quick, and then we've had some conversations back and forth on, being able to do this. Mike Fry, y'all know who he is. He intended to be here today, but, in one of our conversations, it was determined that we could not do this, but then later found out that through attorneys that we can make the amendment. Let me explain that. And so Mike is not gonna be here today. He made other plans, but we can call him if we need to. So with this, tax abatement agreement, it needed to be done. If they had a certificate of completion by January 1, they would be able to amend. That was the initial thought, that they would not be able to amend if they didn't have the certificate of completion done by January 1. Speaking to the appraisal district's attorney, he says that yes, it can be amended, so that as long as the certifications have not been done yet, certified values have not gone out for not the construction phase, but the operational phase. So it's still in construction phase up until now, but once they get that certificate of completion, it'll go into operational and they'll send out those certified values. What they're wanting to do is move up the payments from 2025 to 2024, start paying this year on payments instead of next year. So it would just move it up 1 year. Same amounts, same values. And just move it up.
Seems to be a no-brainer. Soon as you get paid.
Go back, start.
Okay. Okay, but that, did I make myself understood on that? It's kind of a.
They're gonna wanna pay earlier rather than later.
Right, they want to pay earlier rather than later. Initially, we thought they wouldn't be able to, but it turns out, speaking to attorneys, they can. As long as the certified values have not gone out, and they have not.
You made that clear.
Why do they want to play earlier? Is there?
Because they're complete. It's finished. They finished earlier than they expected.
Oh, okay, because my question was gonna be, is their values gonna be higher than they thought, and so they would have been paying more?
Well, the
I mean,
value
it's set in the
wouldn't matter
contract, but
because,
with
yeah,
per megawatt.
it's by megawatt, yeah, so that doesn't matter. What you're doing is you're getting a payment a year earlier than what inflation is
Yes, I
gonna bring
understand
in for next year.
I
So
understand that,
yeah.
but my question is, most companies don't want to pay earlier, they want to
Oh.
move up. So I'm a little,
That is weird. I think it will end up saving them some money. That's positive for them, but they have been good stewards and worked with us well.
One thing I'm gonna say is they're all online.
Yeah.
They're one of them.
Okay.
It's full operation.
Good.
so if the court decides to approve this, then I need to send out an invoice letter to them for payment for October.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Now, did they say they wanted to start paying in 24?
Yes,
So in
it says
October
October
of 24,
31st,
they will.
2024.
Okay,
yeah. First payment this year instead of 25.
okay.
And it's 1,050 per megawatt. I think it's 360 megawatts. I remember right. Didn't look at it. That's what I remember.
And I make a motion that we accept the amendment of the tax abatement agreement with Canyon Wind Farm LLC.
All in favor? And you were abstaining. Okay, now the quiet court to consider bids for fuel, oil and grease, gravel, asphalt, scrap metal and iron, and bids for
hauling the road materials. So we'll do them all at once. And I'm not counting who gets what.
I was expecting a fine.
What? I've lived with Carol for 35 or 6 years, and she still doesn't like when I stick my finger in it. There you go.
Tab on it, if you could.
Just too easy. Probably good invention. Yeah, well.
That's exhibit A. Is that-
Oh, okay. Thank you. It's been a minute.
What's this exhibit A too? Guidelines and materials, tax abatement and reinvestment, this is stuff that you just amended.
Yes. Second last 15. Okay, I'll start going over these. This one's for fuel and bulk oil. This is for legacy fuels. Unleaded gasoline, 87% octane. Refinery cost is 0.08. Freight, 0.09 profit per gallon. Diesel low sulfur highway usage, 0.09 freight per gallon, 0.09 profit. Oil, no freight, 334.15 per drum. That was gasoline motor oil. Diesel motor oil is 410.07 for profit per drum, no freight. No freight for hydraulic, 398.42. And transmission is 0 freight per drum, 458.89 profit.
450?
Yeah, $458.89 profit per drum.
Wow, that's different.
All good. Per drum?
That's different.
That
That's
is
way different.
Yeah.
Okay. Than what we've seen in the past.
Like I said, these are, I think it said no particular order here.
Yeah.
This is from Ergon. It is seal coating asphalt, emulsion CSS 1H 235 a gallon, FOB plant Lubbock 255 a gallon delivered. CRS 235 a gallon, FOB plant Lubbock 255 delivered. CHFRS-2P 270 a gallon, 290 delivered. That's also, these are all Lubbock. CSS 1H fog seal 3070, 99 cents a gallon, $1.19 delivered. Prime oil AEP 5050, 165 a gallon, 185 delivered. This is fuel and bulk oil. Tyler Sheffield is the director of major accounts. I'll have to look and see which one it is. Arnold Oil Company, Austin, out of Austin. That's interesting. Refinery cost for unleaded gasoline is 0.1054 and 12 cents a gallon profit. Diesel low sulfur, 105.4 freight, 0.12 profit. Oil, gasoline motor oil is, and they marked out freight per drum and profit per drum and put just per drum. It's 5W30 blend. Dexos approved $424.88, $424.88. And they did the same thing on all of these. The freight per drum and profit per drum is marked out. It's just per drum. Oil for diesel, 15W40 CK4, $555.50. Hydraulic AW32 is $429.69. Transmission ATF multi-vehicle transmission fluid is $774.31.
Is that, since they marked it out, is it delivered? I mean,
Well, I don't know. It just says per drum. They marked out freight per drum and profit per drum.
Well, I bet. Legacy, but that's not profit, that's.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking
Yeah, it's
as
just
well, because
Exactly what.
surely it wouldn't be that
Because
different.
if that's the case, I'd just be willing to bet that's price.
No, I would think so, too. I bet that's right.
All right, West Texas Rock Resource. Is it in no particular order? Through 20 miles, 30 cents, freight per rate per ton per mile. This is a flexible base freight. 21 to 30 miles is 28 cents. 31 to 40 miles is 26 cents. 41 to 70 miles is 24 cents. And there's multiple copies.
We give a price per on the rock, or is that just for hauling?
Freight rate per ton per mile.
So that must be home. Maybe we got a different one that's for,
Yeah, maybe not, that's just for haul transportation.
Flexible base. 2-inch TxDOT limestone base. Clay Clements of McMullen. Clements, 3 miles southeast of Lorraine. McMullen is 1 mile east of Lorraine. Per ton, it's $7.75. 1-inch crushed limestone base, it's $8.50 per ton, same locations. 2-inch TxDOT limestone base from Halligan, Fluvanna, $9.50 a ton. 2-inch oil field base out of Halligan, Fluvanna, $8.50 per ton. 2-inch caliche, Foster Quarry, 1 mile north of County Road 4105 and FM 1606 intersection is $8 a ton. 2-inch caliche, Everett Quarry on Round Top Road is $8.50 per ton. That's all of those. You want to read yours?
No.
All right. Safety Clean Systems Incorporated. This is for fuel and bulk oil. They're not bidding, it looks like. It says NA for unleaded gasoline and diesel. Motor oil, please see attached. Attached buy board, awarded price card contract. Oh my, it is a long list. 2 pages.
No, we're not. That's why I didn't read it.
Which one do you want to do?
Well, I just told them to send the list and then we could all choose what we
Alright.
want for whatever systems that we were looking for.
Okay.
They've got it all.
Oh my. That one is out of. It doesn't list the local, but it says Norwell, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
That's
Freight
my
trip.
freight.
Freight.
Road trip.
Take people off. Gotta get a double load. Most of those are gonna be Midland, Odessa.
National Sales and Supply, this is Suncoast Resources. This is for bulk fuel and oil. Unleaded gasoline is 6 cents, refinery cost 7 cents, profit per gallon for both unleaded and diesel. Gasoline motor oil is $2.75. Diesel is $300. Hydraulic is $3.25. Transmission is $2.80.
Did you say 0.06 for freight and for unleaded?
0.07.
107?
0.06 for freight and 0.07 for car. Yes, sir. For both, unleaded and diesel. Okay. Flexible base. Carmeli Quarry Limestone, A2 base. Is $9.25. I believe it says 500 tons. A2 base, $9.25. Yeah, these are all the same. That's the same document. You said this one was Vulcan also. Seal coating gravel, $35. 2,000. Product number, quantity is 2,000, is tons. Unit of measure, 30 is tons, and it's $35.
From Eastland?
Black Lease Limestone.
That's, no, they're close to Abilene, or is that like, I was thinking, Myrtle? Yeah. I think it's Myrtle.
36. Past the airport on 36.
Okay,
15 or so miles.
Okay, yeah, we've been out there before.
And that's
Oh,
HM,
that's southeast Abilene? Black
Yes, yes, sir, yes.
Okay.
I couldn't remember, we have, in the past.
you got any more? That's HMA Ag Grade 3. Sandmill Incorporated. Silco gravel bid, grade 3, $25 a ton, grade 4 is $25 a ton, grade 5 is $25 a ton. And that's a sandmill plant in Odon. R.E. James. Is that a separate one or is it the same one altogether? Or is that-
They're all separate.
Okay. Alright. R.E. James gravel, type A grade 4, 2,000 tons is $22.50 from Merkel, $20.40 from Slayton. None from Fillmore. And it's the same way for 2,000 tons and 2,800 tons. You having fun yet? Type A grade 4, 2,000 tons, 23 from Fillmore. And then Merkel and Slayton are not listed. Type A grade 5, this is just from Slayton, $25.15 a ton for all this. Type A grade 3, no bid. And then this is Snyder Iron and Metal. Excuse me. Number 1 steel is 180. Well, everything's 180. Number 1, number 2 steel, 10 mix, cast iron, long iron, and cars. And they will furnish a container. Do you have any more? Is that all you y'all have?
I got some.
Okay.
This is P2 emulsions. 225,000 gallons P2 CWE-2 FOB County, $3.29 a gallon. 225,000 gallons P2 CWE-2 FOB plant is $301, $3 a penny per gallon. Sorry. P2 ROC FOB County, $3.10 a gallon. P2 ROC FOB plant, $2.83 a gallon. P2 prime concentrate, FOB County, $2.24 a gallon. Prime concentrate, FOB plant, $1.97. P2 stabilizer tanker, FOB plant, $2.68. Tanker, FOB County, $2.96 a gallon. Drum total plant, $2.90. P2 S1, $2.68. Tanker, FOB plant. Tanker, FOB County, $2.96 a gallon. Drum total plant, $2.90 a gallon. PWCW2, $3.01 a gallon, FOB plant. Tanker, FOB County, $3.29 a gallon. Drum total plant, $3.23. That was for chip seal. P2 CWP, cold weather patch. Tanker, FOB plant, $3.01. Tanker, FOB County, $3.29. Drum total plant, $3.23. P2 ROC, road over coat, $2.83. Tanker, FOB plant. Tanker, FOB County, $3.10 a gallon. Drum total plant, $3.05. P2 rejuvenator, FOB plant, $2.68. Tanker, FOB County, $2.96. Drum total plant, $2.90. P2 prime concentrate, $1.97. tanker FOB plant. Tanker FOB County 224, drum total plant 219. P2 RTU $1.93, tanker FOB plant. Tanker FOB County 220, drum total plant 215. All prices per US gallon, minimum tanker delivery 5,000 gallons, delivery over 250 miles, subject to additional charge. First 2 hours of trucking is free, $80 an hour thereafter. Pump charge, trucking charge, $80 an hour. Push charge, $80 an hour. Return load subject to charge and delivery freight line. Smaller quantities available, subject to freight differential of 25 cents a gallon for less than 5,000. Those P2 emulsions.
What's the closest plant, do they show? What plant they're coming from? Is it Waco or Elmont?
It's on there, right? Somewhere.
Oh, well, if we want to use them, we can call them, find out if it's worth bidding.
Elmont. Texas.
Elmont.
Yes. It's a long little page. Next one is Wright Asphalt. Products CHFRS-2P, material price per gallon, FOB refinery 285, outgoing freight per gallon 0.302 cents. Delivered price per gallon 3.152 per gallon, CRS2 245, FOB refinery, outgoing freight 0.302 per gallon. Delivered price per gallon, $2.75 basically. CRS2P, FOB refinery 285. Outgoing freight per gallon 0.302. Delivered price per gallon $2.75. All the freight's the same, so. CSS 1H30 per gallon, $7D $1.10, FOB refinery, 30 cents, freight, delivered $1.40, MC 3000 TR, 335, FOB refinery, freight 0.307 cents per gallon. Delivered price $3.65, TR fall $2.65, FOB refinery freight 30.7 cents, delivered price $2.957.
Did you say 429?
That's the day before. Terminal location is Brownwood. And this is simply another copy of the city. 2 hours free, then $100 an hour, pump charge $100 an hour. Diversion, $75 per additional stop. Whale charge $750 an hour per truck per night. Company's billing address is Dallas, Texas. That's both Wright Asphalt. Last one would be the construction. Holland. Total per mile per ton, 30 cents a mile per ton at 40 miles or less. 25 cents a mile per ton at 41 miles or more.
Is that higher than last?
Yes.
Yeah, but not much.
No, 28 wasn't it?
Yes,
He didn't have a minimum mileage on that last.
and it was 25 cents this past year, I believe, total.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
It's the only one I remember,
Yeah, but
the number.
the things is, went up considerably.
Was there another one?
Did he submit one for material?
But if he doesn't have material, they would have to go get it.
This says all loads consisting of 21 to 23 tons per load. And bid as per loaded mile, rate delivered location in Scurry County as directed by the commissioner of each percent.
Is that the only one for Holland?
Yes, on what I got. Certificate of liability insurance is included.
Yeah. I didn't see one.
Yeah, that's only
They were all.
all that
Okay. Alright. Can I ask what companies y'all are with? Are y'all?
Yeah.
Argon.
Argon, man.
I'm right asphalt,
Okay.
building materials.
Thank you all. I appreciate y'all being here.
We sure did. Judge, if we could get copies to all the commissioners that are going to use these products and let us take a look at them. And
I'll need a copy of the approved ones. I don't want all of them. I just want one delivery.
Judge, could we get copies of bids?
Okay.
I just need asphalt bids.
Yeah, we don't,
I'll send them all to you.
please, no.
Yeah,
we can start right now.
Does everybody mind, email? Y'all
It's fine.
good with Email?
That'd be fine.
Okay. Y'all good with email?
oh, absolutely.
Please, Judge.
Sure.
So we are going to just, no action or table?
Well, we've always accepted all bids except for fuel and oil. The only problem is, this is the first time in a long time that we've had an outside company come in and bid and underbid our local source. The problem we had with the previous outside company was that they would never furnish the documentation that we require. And they were not able to actually get the fuel to us in a appropriate time. And so in this case, I'd rather that we go ahead and approve both companies. And then if we're having trouble getting fuel, we've got someone to back them up.
That's your motion?
And there's a lot to be said for local business.
Absolutely. Yes. And I don't know if we can do, that, which I'd like to do. Thank you. I think you have to give them an opportunity since they bid lower. But I think we also need a backup because they may not be able to deliver as this other company in past years was not able to deliver. And we had to redo it all for the fuel and oil because of it.
Well,
And so we can wait and get with our county attorney and see what I think we're gonna have to do, but if he says we can go ahead and do that, I'd rather do it, and where we can actually just take all bids and then utilize them as needed. I mean, we've been in a world already to where we could not even get any materials at all. And so, it's great you could get oil, but if you can't get rock, you have no business. You can't do any chip sealing. So, we live in a different world than we did a few years ago. So I think we need to take the time, look through all the bids, each one of us, as you email them to us, and then agree upon them the next time we come, or we can accept all bids and then change it if the county attorney says it's not something feasible.
Well, I think in the past, we've accepted all bids. Each department had their choice of that,
We have.
because we've had 2 bids on field roll before. But I agree with the backup plan, because you never know, because we've been down that road, field too.
Yes, we have.
Unless the county attorney says we can't, I would say approve all bids, and if it comes back, we can amend it, can't we?
Yes, I would think so.
I mean, what do y'all think?
I mean, when it's not binding us, I mean, we gotta keep going one way or the other.
Exactly.
So
I know we
we
can
need
do all the
to
rest of
use our
it.
best judgment on trying to use what, cost efficient, for precincts for the county.
Yeah, which,
And we've got choices here now. We usually don't have choices.
right. So I'll make a motion, we approve all bids, and other than if the county attorney says we need to amend something, we bring it up, be on the agenda for the next court meeting.
Okay, second.
All in favor?
No, that's, thank you.
Thank y'all, appreciate y'all being here, I really do.
Thank you.
And I'll get those emailed, it may be, tomorrow or next day, but I will get those to y'all.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, court to consider, discuss and consider. Okay. Okay, yeah, and I'll get it to you. Court to discuss and consider the resignation of Donald Floyd, Pro Shop Director, effective April 1st, 2024, and further discuss the timeline for posting a job description and accepting of applications, and timeline for conducting interviews and matters related to.
There was one clarification on that I had. She is actually golf course department head.
Okay.
Can we get her to stay another month? This is gonna be a short time period,
Yeah, it's,
very short.
30 days.
Yes, sir. You can get applications in here and get that done in 30 days. Wow. You got somebody waiting outside the door. Do you, Judge?
No.
That's gonna be the difficult part.
It is.
All right, so,
All things being said, Darrell loves that place.
Yes.
Again,
Yes.
she really does.
So maybe we can talk her into it. I hope she'd be here this morning.
That's why she didn't show up.
Maybe so.
She's like, I'm not gonna let him do that to me.
She don't want that to say, no. So,
I even lay a 20 down and call her phone, it's off. No.
Well, it's gonna be very difficult to operate without someone out there like.
yeah, and I'll talk to her and I'll talk to,
We can always add some at the bottom for resignation letter pending replacement.
So what I was looking at is, accept applications through the 15th. That's, if we can get that posted pretty quick, which I think we can, 15th of March, and do interviews on the 19th during our Commissioners Court meeting, or after our Commissioners Court meeting is part of it, in executive session. If we have someone we like, then, the last couple that we've looked at, we've made a decision in that executive session, or after that executive session, not in, after the executive session. And that would give 2 weeks if they wanted to give notice to somebody for an April 1st or April 2nd start date, potentially. So, and if not, we can have a backup plan that we will put into place in the meantime.
Well, Judge, I make a motion to accept the resignation of Darrell Floyd and thank her for her service to Scurry County Golf Course. And the replacement will be posted as soon as possible. Be opened on the 15th of March.
Applications through March 15th and then interviews on the 19th.
Interviews on that.
All in favor?
Do you have a job description in pay scale?
We've got one, yes, but it hadn't been posted yet. We'll post that as soon as we post the opening. All right, court to discuss and consider creating a promotional line from BCD funds for golf course. And I meant to mention this when we were in here last time. BCD has 25,000 in it, and we're doing the, not we, but they're doing the Men's and Women Golf Association are doing the celebration for it. They don't really have any funds, and Angela and I discussed it a little bit, but did we ever figure out what? I think with LGC, it says that you can use funds for promotion of, for certain things.
Yes, you can. It just has to be approved in court.
Okay.
So and I also talked to the outside auditors regarding it as well, and they said it could be done. Just has to be voted on in the courtroom, that it is a promotion of, like celebration. Other auditors on my list there also said that that would be, and that they would see it as an approvable expense because it is recognizing a entity that the county's had.
So everybody's good with it as far as BCD and all that.
There's nobody on
I
it.
know, that's what I mean. So that's all.
I would make the suggestion of potentially going ahead and moving the funds from the BCD that the court believes would be used for that and moving it to, there is a golf course advertisement line where I can make it advertising promotional line. That way it's, because we haven't had any expenses out of BCD and or into it, revenue put into it in a number of years. And there are no members on the board of the BCD, and previously it had to have any expenses there, had to be signed off on by the president and the co-chair of the BCD, and there is nobody, so. I would recommend moving it, making a motion or at some point doing a budget amendment to move it from the BCD to the golf course promotional line, but not the entire amount, but whatever amount the court.
So if we move it to the promotional line for the golf course, they can use it to put on the celebration.
To advertise it.
They can't go over it without approval, but yeah.
Right.
And it would be spent, it would be spent through the golf course, not by.
Right, no, it would still be signed off on by the department head of the
Right,
golf course.
Right, but you say promotional, and I was just wondering how far promotional goes, if it's limited to advertising.
No, other entities have done things like different, items that they give away or they have for the event. Anything that advertised towards the event, flyers, newspaper, any of that stuff, as well as promoting the event.
If we do a logo of Scurry County 100-year golf course, or golf
Yeah.
course 100-year anniversary, and we put that on hats, shirts, jackets, whatever.
And the
golf
BCD
balls.
used to do a catalog, like a magazine every year, and stuff like that. And so it's not limited just to advertising. It's
That was my question. That if it wasn't tied to just advertisement.
Right.
And it would still come to court as a payable that would be approved by the court. If there comes an invoice through my office that I'm questionable on, I would, look up the statute and see, is this an allowable expense?
So do we want to give them the whole 25 grand, or, and I'm asking.
I don't think it'll take that much to promote it.
I have no idea what.
Yeah, well, I mean, we can put 10,000 in now and we can always put more in if it's shown to be needed.
Can we do that if we?
Mhm. I would have to prepare a form for next court, which is next Tuesday,
Right.
for y'all to approve. But yeah, you can do that.
Well, I'll tell you what. 25,000. Let's cut it in half.
12.5.
And see how far that goes. If the court's good with it. Because advertisement, banners and signs, we all know what they cost now.
There's actually. They're ready to move on. Yeah. All in favor. All right, thank you all. All right, court to discuss and consider approval of Conley and Company's 2023 engagement letter.
And it should be in the packet there, to sign. They are doing our audit, so please approve it.
I'll make a motion to approve the Conley and Company's engagement letter, 2023 engagement letter.
Second.
Wait, should that be 2024?
It says
No, it's the 2023, because they're auditing the year
Okay,
2023.
year. Okay,
Second, I'm not reading.
just making sure. I know it said 2023, but. Okay. Was there a second?
Yes.
All right, all in favor? Court to consider a resolution regarding withheld property tax revenues on school and taxing units. Okay. All the, so I've been talking with all of the taxing entities on this. We meet once a month and we have conversations about things, and this comes up that nearly every one of those. As you know, Kinder Morgan is using a legitimate law to pay only the undisputed amount of their taxes each year. So they dispute every year and have since 2019. They pay generally in the 40 to 45% range. One year they paid 18%. That was to us, it was 200,000 out of 1.2 million.
I remember that.
So, in the 5 years that they've done this, to all of the taxing entities, it's $27,706,263 that they had not paid. And they're not the only ones who are using this law. There are 2 other lawsuits that I know of for sure, right off the top of my head, occurring here in Scurry County. And there are others in Scurry County that I'm not 100% sure of, but those are 2 I can pull the names up right on top of my head. And so the appraisal district did a survey, and they've confirmed that lawsuits have increased 246% between 2014 and 2022. 21,702 ad valorem cases filed in 2022. Only 1,888 cases were single-family residents. So when they made this law, they did it for the little guy. But the big guy is taking advantage of it and withholding their taxes. So this resolution, Ira's done one, the appraisal district has done one, the city of Snyder's done one. I believe Snyder ISD is going to do one, but I've got to verify that. I don't know 100% if they are. But it's looking at changing the legislation. So it's tax code 42.08, and it says that they only have to pay the undisputed amount. So there's several things they're looking at. They're looking at, and I've talked to our legislators about this every year, about changing it to where they have to pay penalties and interest on that, or one of the ideas that's come up is set a cap. So if it's valued under 5 million, you can pay the undisputed amount. But if you are larger than 5 million, your taxes are larger than 5 million, then your valuation, then you have to pay that in an escrow account that will gain interest. That's a possibility. And At the VG Young last week, there was a gentleman from Nueces County. They have the same situation going on down there. $1.2 billion company that's disputed for years. And so what they're looking at is a different part of the law, 26.01, that states that, what did he tell me? They're looking at changing that aspect of the law where, oh, good golly, I just had it in my head what they were gonna do. But he's looking at changing that law, and he's written legislation for that, and he's trying to get that legislation through. So as you know, with this resolution, it says the increasing number of ad valorem tax lawsuits and soaring appeal values from large corporations spinning in the court system is overburdening district courts and causing delays in the resolution of property tax litigation. We've seen that. Texas Public Schools, local taxing jurisdiction, small businesses, and everyday taxpayers are highly dependent on property taxes. I just remembered what it was. So what they're talking about is, so we rely on every bit of those dollars every year, even the ones that they don't pay. What he's talking about is excluding that from the taxable value that year and being able to recoup that at a later time after the lawsuit. Because like I said, if $1 million we don't get from Kinder Morgan, we still have that $1 million in bills. He's talking about excluding that where we can change tax rate based on what we actually get and not on the disputed amounts. Okay, and I'm not sure the ins and outs of the law, but that's the basics of what he explained. So we would get a full amount, or we would be able to cover our bills every year. An example is the school districts. If theirs is $3 million that they don't get one year, that hurts them just as much as not getting $1 million for us. So,
Like the other, you're penalizing other taxpayers for a company. I understand what you're saying.
Sure. Yeah.
But they're penalizing other taxpayers.
exactly, you're gonna have to raise your tax rate to cover it.
It's better to limit that amount like you were speaking.
Right.
So, in layman's terms, we can up the tax rate like from Kinder Morgan only.
No, we would be able, we would have to up the tax rate overall to make up that $1 million difference.
So it's increasing the tax burden on everybody else.
Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
Kinder Morgan doesn't want to pay for it, or whatever company.
Yes,
Yeah, not good legislation.
that's what he's looking at, but, so I'm still pushing with our legislators, to do
I
something.
think there's a lot better for everybody.
Isn't there a proposition on the ballot right now that says to do away with the property tax?
Yes, yes,
Yes,
yes, there is.
there is.
But there's no one ever come close to figuring out how you do that.
Oh, and I know, but it's on the ballot.
It is.
And if they vote, and it becomes something that goes to legislation and then they pass it, I mean, it's not gonna be, there's gonna be issues.
We were in that class too. What was it he was saying about that? It's ironic that they're wanting to do that, but they're also pushing for more property taxes.
Well,
Right.
it's good to the
Yeah.
taxpayer, it's good here to the voters.
It's
and
voted
then-
in, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, that's exactly what that's about.
yeah.
But when you get a 40% sales tax rate,
Well, see, they can take the, never mind, I'm not gonna say this. Get into politics. So they can sit there and take the credit to the voters, and then they can put the blame on the counties or the taxing entities.
that's exactly right. That's what they've been doing for a while.
And that's basically where this ends up on this one, is a bill establishing guidelines of the determination of disputed value and the resulting escrow of withheld tax revenues by the court, accruing interest to be received by the prevailing party. That's kind of one of the big parts about this one. So, anyway, that's where that is. It's, we're basically with this resolution asking the legislature to do something about, the law that they broke. Or the code, the tax code that they broke.
You try to stop those lawsuits because that's also putting more
Yeah,
tax burden
it is.
on all tax,
Yes,
Throwing it out.
yes.
you know, we're getting more and more exemptions.
Okay.
More and more lawsuits, 240%.
Yeah.
More.
Right. Well, just to Scurry County, the outstanding under protest is $6,841,000 in 5 years.
Yeah, look at the school.
13 million.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta start somewhere.
You do.
And if this is the place to start, I don't see why we wouldn't start it.
We gotta start
Take
somewhere.
copies,
We do.
put the signature page up, so.
I make the motion that we approve the resolution regarding withheld property tax revenues in schools and taxing entities.
So,
All in favor? And we will each sign this. Thank you. And we will continue to fight.
That's what the bet on is, everybody getting up.
Right, Yeah.
Exactly what they're doing.
it is. And Barbara's been hanging out for an hour and 15 minutes for this part. Court to discuss and consider participation in Snyder Bucket List and allow one-time or monthly discounts at Scurry County Golf Course, Scurry County Pool, and/or other county facilities. So I know a little bit about the Snyder Bucket List. I'm gonna let you explain a little better than I
Well, I
can.
was gonna say, one of our team members, Libby, had actually started it. She's at training this week, so she said, Barbara, can you cover it? So I'm gonna do my best to honor her and her hard work. But what we have is that in the, as DCOS, of course, sales tax driven, what we're going on is that tourism and local things affect us greatly. So anything we can do to increase that is just great for our community when we see more out of towners and new money in, because we as locals can only spend so much. So what we did is we created at Christmas, when the downtown merchants had open house, we created a shop and dine pass where over 30 businesses were a part of it. And it's simply a pass, kind of like an app you put on your phone, and you download it and you are able to look through, and it has all different things in there that are Snyder. And so we created the shop and dine pass just to kind of give someone an experience. If you're familiar with Pokemon Go, which I was not, but Libby is. So she was telling me about it. And it's kind of like, just as you go to places, you check in, you gather points. Then you're able to take those points and collect something. And from the DCOS, we gave out an ornament or a t-shirt. So it's just kind of a little fun thing as you check in places. We had over 30 businesses participate, had over 800 check-ins. So people were doing it and they really enjoyed it. So we created a bucket list pass for Snyder. And it is not the worst things in Snyder, as we've seen some of that. We on the social media and things like that, Snyder's one of the worst places. Oh, that just broke my heart. So we started going through and we're like, we have great assets. We have great things in Snyder. So to be able to just build a bucket list, what would your typical day in Snyder be? And it includes a lot of the Scurry County attractions. So the museum, I was gonna say the nature trail, the golf course, the pool, just things and assets that we have, along with businesses, restaurants, different things, murals that we have in town, the White Buffalo statue. So just various things to say, hey, this is what makes Snyder unique, and this is what we have. If you're coming through 84 or coming, into Snyder, look at all the things that you can do. You collect points and you get, it's no cost to anyone except for the DCOS. It's no cost to the participant. It's no cost for any of the businesses that participate. So we created a list of 50. We actually had more than 50, but we cut it down to the top 50 in Snyder that they can do. What we're here to ask you for is that you possibly, as a participant on the pass, we get extra points if we use a discount at that place. For example, just one of the boutiques on the square had a 10% discount. So they walk in and they use that discount and they claimed it. It gives us an extra 5 points instead of, just the average 10 for checking in. So we can gain 15 points because like the ornament was 100 points. So we're trying to gain points as we go around town and we collect things. So coming to you as commissioners, I was thinking of the golf course or the pool. You could do a smaller discount where like a bucket of balls, I think we checked, it was like $4. you could do on there a bucket of balls when you buy a green fee. So it may have someone come out and enjoy your facilities a little bit longer. They come out and they get the bucket of balls. You can do it one time. This pass will run for a year. So you could do it one time or you could do it monthly to encourage them to come back. So for a minimal investment of a possibility that they might use the discount, then they would be able to see. So it's to help with local, just with the foot traffic and just for the, things that are off the beaten path, like the nature trail that you're fixing to, you're redoing and Toll Park. There's some different things in there. The pool, you might could do buy an adult and get a child for free. That would encourage families to do it together. There's just little things that you can do if you wanted to as Commissioners Court. You don't have to do anything, but when you do something, it kind of makes you stand out as a possible discount because those are kind of different rather than just being on the list. So that's what we're here to see if you were willing to support it with a small gesture of something from the golf course, or we just thought something minimal would be like a bucket of balls or something if they checked in, or you can tie it to something, or you can do a free pass at the pool. I don't think the museum costs anything.
It's kind of like United, you go buy groceries, you get points and you get a discount on your gas.
Yeah, so this is just kind of a tourism and, what we want to do is support the local business to expand our tourist base and just be effective in Snyder and just put us out there that, hey, Snyder's a great place to come hang.
So this is a digital form
It is.
that they keep and then they go out to the golf course and on their phone they can show that
It's geofence.
you would add
Absolutely. So it's going to go by
the bucket of
location.
balls or whatever.
It's going to go by location. So on this pass, and once we it's not active right now, so I can't really walk you through it. We're still building it and everything. But once you put it downloaded on your phone, which we had, like I said, over 400 downloads just on the day that we did open house on that Sunday. We worked here at the office off the square and just kind of show people how to upload it and how to do it. We did a bunch of how-to videos, shared that on social, did the typical Lions Club, Rotary Club, kind of introduce them to the pass. And we only had 2 months. This is a full year. So I think it's going to be highly effective. I hope to see our numbers quadruple more than they were just that 2 months pass. But it's all digital through your phone. You just download the experience is what they call it because that's what people want now is an experience. They don't just want to come for a deal or they want the whole experience of Snyder. So you'll download the experience, put it on your phone, and then when you go somewhere, say I'm at, the golf course, it's geofence. It recognizes, hey, you're here, check in, I'm checking in, and it says, while you're here, would they have this discount offered? Or you can just check in and get your points there and start gathering those different ones. Right, more than you needed to know, but it really is a neat thing. So I think just educating people on it and just reminding people to use it. And we do a different promotion. You were talking promotions a while ago. We do different things, social, we do tables, we do all kinds of things. And really just run it within our region so that Snyder's not just a pastor, and also helps, with local, just community pride, things we have to be proud of.
Well, can McCowan Farms participate? I won't charge anybody if they want their tractor.
See?
That's the bonus.
You know what?
But there's a minimum amount of hours you have to be.
I won't charge them a thing.
I could just see his tractor being
his
plowed
field
up
looks
the
like.
pavement or something out there for someone who's never been on one.
Just think about the rules.
You just won't cut one for your
GPS. And so if there's 20 people, say, that are doing this, and 20 people went out to the golf course, so there'd be 20 buckets of balls.
It'd be an $80
Possibly.
investment if it
Yeah.
possibly was turned, but then again, you have to look at how many would
What
go
are they
there
gonna do?
instead of another option, or might not even go, but hey, if I could go work, it's beautiful today, let's go out there. Then as they're playing, if they just went to just get the balls, I know my son Jake, so he said, if he's just going to hit balls, but it's really pretty, he'll turn around and he'll play.
Yeah.
Then you possibly could do an upsell of a green fee, or even a drink, or a snack on the
Whatever.
inside, or there's a lot for minimal investment. And it's just something that you just you can build in your discount, and you can have on your POS system. I don't know what y'all use out there, but your POS system, you could just, the discount here, apply it and go. Do I see 1,000 using it? It would be great if they did, but no. I mean, it's an unknown, it's a projected, but I think it will help possibly could help your foot traffic, which is our ultimate hope. To just shine on an asset that Snyder has.
But even then, a bucket of balls and they decide, well, I'm gonna go ahead and play around.
Then they're gonna get hungry, and they're gonna come down and
You never know, so that's what we're trying to do, is just kind of build something together that people can just look at the options that are in Snyder and then go, yeah. And then you can use that, we're building it to where we're not just featuring your golf course, but then we're also telling the hours, we're also telling your green fees. So as they're looking at it, they may just go, I didn't know it was that cheap to play, or whatever. I didn't know it was that affordable. Heart rental's only this. Let's go out and let's go play. You just never know.
So when is this gonna start?
We hope to kick it off at the end of March. We're working hard to get it done. And it may be something, I don't know, like on our board, sometimes they just give me the authority. I don't know if Dan can have the authority to kind of negotiate. Maybe if you wanted to do bucket of balls, if that all has to come to you off, we have to wait another month. But we'd like to do it at the end of March. Simply just a minimal.
That's why I was asking, is figure out what we're gonna do.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I like the idea of them come, if they pay a green fee, they get a bucket of balls and try that first. And then if that doesn't fly, or you don't see the foot traffic you're wanting to see, then just give them a free bucket of balls.
And I believe Libby knows more about it, and I can ask her, but I believe that discount can change. And you, like I said, you could do it one time, or you could do it, for somebody that's coming out every month, or usually doesn't come out, but now all of a sudden it's an incentive to come out every month. That may be, a monthly kind of renewable thing too. Because we don't want them to just visit a store once.
No.
If they're here, we want them, or a restaurant or an attraction. It's every time they visit it, hopefully. So kind of just renew it. We're still working all that out because we're building it.
But
Can we table it till next week or next meeting and decide?
But look at your options. See, I don't know what the pool charges. I don't know what your options are, but yeah. We just use
free.
It'll be on
But
there.
you get points, I'm assuming.
You do, if you use
went
it
out
and
there
you check
used it.
in,
Yeah.
absolutely. And like I said, all of it's geofenced, so it's based off of your cell
Yeah.
phone, location.
so you could actually set, say the walking trail, you could actually have points.
In different places.
Not just driving up in the parking lot, hey, I got points.
No, you
but
have to,
actually having to walk to a certain point to get the
it's,
point.
yes, I think they realizes where you,
Mhm.
that attraction.
What you're doing.
Yeah. So that's how we get it.
Might take some pressure off you as a court and email your department heads and say, hey, what kind of discounts or options would you be able to provide? And you could bring that back to the court.
I don't think
And we're open to make those phone calls. I mean, just whatever your process is. I just wanted to see if you were willing to participate. If you are, then we can work through that.
I don't see an issue with it.
I think it's a good idea.
I think it is.
It's been great. It's really been, and we kind of based it off of some of the newspapers, a lot of them we based off best of. So have you had the best barbecue in Scurry County? Have you seen the best pool in Scurry? I mean, just things like that you won the awards with the paper. So kind of partnering with the paper just to back on some of that, to be proud of our assets. and
Does
what
that
we
kind of
have.
interface with social media so that people can, in other areas, maybe local, around us, can see that these people are participating and maybe they want to come too? Is that a possibility?
That's not, it's probably out there, Terry, but I don't think anything like, how like on Facebook, when you check in somewhere, it shows up, not yet.
Yeah.
This is the past, I shouldn't say, and I say download, you just, I shouldn't say
But
put it
people
on.
put it on Facebook and social media.
Well,
You
yeah,
do, and we promote it really heavy.
Yeah, it's just what it boils down to is your algorithm. It's like, for instance, when I do my posts for both Ritz and newspaper, I always make sure to figure out what's going to hit the most, what's going to get the most likes and stuff, because as Barbara likes it, Jason likes it, Melody likes it, the mutual friend of Dan might pop up in your feed and it'll be a suggested post because it notices, 60 of your friends like this page,
Yeah.
10 of them have liked this post, so it's gonna deliver it to you. So it's all about your algorithm, and you're great with, boosting posts. You always
We
want
try to boost, and it's great. I know Doug shares a lot, just as DCOS, of our things from DCOS. You have a totally different circle than what, like my circle, my personal circle would be. So anything that you see from DCOS, if you have your own social pages, anything you see from any local business or other entity, it helps us tremendously get a broader audience.
And even just leaving a like gets.
It shows interaction, and that helps with the algorithm too. And we've learned, you post at certain times of the day, because that first 30 minutes of interaction will make or break your post.
So would it be shareable?
Yes, when we have social posts and we do kind of a screen share, how-to video, how do you download this app? What is this app about? What is this? I keep saying app, it's not considered an app, it's called an experience. There's a difference in the tech world, so don't kill me, whoever, it's, whenever you share it, if we post it on social as DCOS, if you like our page and you share it there, then yes, we can make it shareable on anything.
That'll get it out more
And
than
sign up apps, absolutely.
you. No,
We-
because it's easy to do.
We use we use our both socials a lot. We use, of course, the civic groups that we go and, just inform them about. We use, any kind of, like our newsletter, our monthly newsletter. If you've been signed up for that, a lot of our information goes into that also.
So, I like what Doug said.
That broadens your audience also, because it helps you get seen from our audience. And if you share, then it also helps our assets be seen as Snyder. And then people know what we have.
That'll give us a week thinking about what we kind of want to do. But the one thing that he's talking about is going to be, say, the golf course, one time. I don't think that's a good idea. I think if they want to go back,
Go monthly.
do, put a limit on it of monthly or whatever. But if you limit them to one, say the golf course, they may get to thinking, I kind of enjoyed that, let's go back. It ain't gonna hurt to do it again.
This is gonna be a yearly thing, right?
Well, we have to pay for it every year, but we have paid for the pass for this year.
Yeah.
Yes. We're exploring what options are out there. Is there something else that's better? Is there something else that's there? This is the pass we're working with. It's a little confusing if you don't turn your locations on, so we're kind of looking for something different, but something similar we absolutely want to do. Because we think it's great to put our assets out there and put our stores out there, and we're working with the city a lot to get, a lot of people, you know how it is. Oh, I know where Snyder is. I passed by there on the way to Lubbock. No, I don't want you to pass by. I want you to stop. So, working with the city on some 84 stuff to say, come Snyder, working on some signage to come Snyder. And let them explore Snyder as a city. We're doing the cleanup campaign again. There's just so many things that we're doing to help grow that civic pride back. And I say that just because it's hard can't make somebody be proud of something, but we can give them something to be proud of. And that's what we're working hard to do. And it makes our job easier to bring in other businesses.
We all think about it to the next court, have it on the agenda.
Thank you for considering it.
I'd still give y'all time to get everything done that way.
Say it again.
If we wait till next week and decide, they'll still give y'all enough time.
Yes,
Get it all
yes.
done.
Now you have a deadline.
There you go. And if you have any questions, just call. And like I said, anything, we can help you understand or show you, and we thank you for
Thank you.
wanting to partner. And
Thank you, Barbara. We'll have an answer for you.
thank you, Dan.
All right, court to discuss and consider an agreement for outdoor lighting with Big Country Electric. This would be 2 lights at 150 watts. They're LEDs for the parking lot at the recreational track. There is no lighting there. We have lots of complaints about the lighting over there and that there is no lighting over there. And I looked into, and part of the grant was putting parking lot lights out there. But those solar lights would do great, but they are very expensive. They're a lot higher than I anticipated, or they're a lot higher than when I was looking at them. This would be a permanent lighting. They would maintain them, they would put them in, and it would eliminate an issue there.
So this $20 for us,
$20
per
a
month for
month.
each one of them?
Yes, sir. Yeah, $40 a month.
They're like we have out at the DPS way station.
Okay.
No, that's not gonna interfere with the houses.
No, they're LED, they're directional. They don't have a lot of light pollution.
Okay.
Right, they won't put them up if it did.
Right.
They will, they'll ask you about that and ask those neighbors.
Because I know this happens. I'm gonna get some phone calls.
Yes, you would.
It's shining their light, bigger light.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, that's fine. But that thing does need, it would stop a lot of what
It would, yeah.
It would. I'll make a motion, we do the agreement with Big Country for Carolina.
So,
All in favor? Thank you. Court to consider approval of treasurer's monthly report and personnel report for
Did
January.
y'all get a personal report? Because I did not have it.
Yeah, I got one.
yeah, I got one in the box yesterday.
I only got treasurer's, the financial one, but not the.
That's all I got was financial. Oh, wait, there it is.
Thank you. Can I keep this one?
Yes.
Can I keep this one?
Yes.
Not as detailed as what
You
we
can't read it. You can't read it.
She's doing it differently.
I can't do that.
No,
It was just paperclip and some other stuff.
You get one?
I haven't found it yet. I found this one page, but is it, all that go with the daily cash analysis, is that part of your report? Or
Yes.
that's not paid, or-
Yes, it goes with that.
Oh, okay.
Looks like this.
Oh, yeah, I
You
did.
give one? You have
Yes,
one?
see?
I was looking for the one for y'all to sign.
Thank you.
Right here.
Any discussion on monthly report or personnel report?
Motion to approve the treasurer's monthly
And personnel, the
Report,
personnel. So,
plural,
second.
All in favor?
that'll cover you.
then
All right, court to consider approval of county auditor's January 2024 monthly financial report. And you don't have a copy because it was emailed to you.
I emailed them. I'm gonna start emailing them to y'all unless you want to continue getting the big binded book
No,
that y'all don't.
no, thank you.
No, it's okay. Thank you.
That's okay.
So it'll be on our website and, emailed as a PDF to you. I will email you one, sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. I'll just write, Angela
I don't-
saving trees, doing her job.
It's a lot of paper. We do have to have one physical copy because it actually has to be put together from two different reports and encode. So we have one hard copy if anybody wants to come and look at it and see it, but it is on the website and it is in, I email it to all of y'all.
I'll be there after court, I'll look at
Well, I won't be there because I gotta go get my grandson, so.
it. I'll make a motion to approve the county auditor, January 2024 monthly report.
Second.
All in favor? Court to discuss and consider certification of additional revenues in the form of proceeds from the sale of the 2018 Ford ambulance and the proceeds from ad fuels.
So the ambulance, was the one that y'all approved for him to sell on December 5th. And, so it's just certifying the revenues and there will be a budget amendment requesting to put it into his capital outlay line. The ad fuel is the 50,000 from ad fuel revenue coming in. He's certifying it and requesting to put it into Texas class airport revenue, which coming up really soon, we will be having to discuss moving forward with the runway grant, so we're gonna need all this money.
We always put it in there anyway because of the runway. deal. I'll make the motion, we approve the sale of the ambulance and it be placed in
No, certify the revenue. You already- y'all already approved
certified
that.
revenue of the sale of the ambulance and I have fuel $50,000.
And put it in the
That's what I was trying to
Texas
say.
fund.
That's what I was trying to say.
And
What line they wanted in?
The airport revenue is Texas class. I'll have a budget amendment for the other one in a minute.
Okay. Yeah, that. I was trying to say that.
All right, and then we have a second, all in favor? All right.
That one.
Of course, consider approval of line item transfers and budget amendments.
Okay. I have an additional budget amendment that's not in the packet, but I have copies here. I'm gonna start with line item transfers. First one is district clerk into bonds, $450. This was due to an increase in the bond amount because they have a huge, I can't remember what it's called, certain kind of bond in their registry account that's over $1 million, and they have to have a certain percentage of that in their bonds. So it's $450. The sheriff's office, equipment, $1,000 to $5,000, $4,100 out of his capital outlay line. Additional fees to install flock cameras for that they had approved in the budget, but the amount was more than what we had anticipated. The Parks Department, other equipment, $2,000 out of pool supply. He also had an approved item in the budget, but the amount has gone up since they had gotten the estimate on it as well. Then precinct 3, capital outlay, $8,000 out of road material to buy a fuel trailer for precinct 3. This one is the airport FOD Razor, which says runway sweeper, $36.70, and it's out of his runway maintenance. Release FOD from 1114. I can't read his handwriting, but he's replacing the piece of equipment.
Y'all gotta go look at that. There's no reason that should work, but it does work.
Okay.
Makes no sense.
That's all the line on transfers.
All right.
Then I have 3 budget amendments. First one is the HAVA, $17,417. 2 new
yes, 200s,
ballot tabulators.
Perhaps you can't read your writing.
obviously.
It was a 5.
Yes, 200s.
EMS capital outlay, $27,000. This is the sale of the ambulance. And then this one, they'll pass around that please. This is a budget amendment into 10-409-5710, which is non-departmental capital outlay to purchase the building across the street from the courthouse, $247,525.
And none of that is tax credit. So you're taking it out of, well, I'm saying you're going to tax.
Right.
Yeah, you're taking it out.
The revenue that was
Right,
from the, revenues from the end of 2020.
Correct.
Should make a motion that we approve the line transfer from budget amendment.
Second, all in favor? Okay, accounts payable.
Okay, total of accounts payable was $2,182,458.73. We also had to do a cashier's check made payable to Snyder Abstract and Title for the purchase of the building that I just did for $247,525, which makes it total of $2,429,983.73.
Make a motion, we'll pay the bills.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, we will be adjourned.
Make a motion that we don't have to adjourn.
And by the way, next week, we meet March 5th. I'm gonna try to keep the agenda fairly short so that we can get out to the Canyon Wind Farm, ribbon cutting celebration, and firing it up.
When, could they give a time for that?
11:15 is when they want you to be out there.
It's an old one, but I
So,
just didn't get a
Should we
signature.
get out on that?
My
yeah,
auditor wanted a copy of it, and I didn't have a signature.
It
so.
was Jeff's
Did you get a
call.
copy of the other one?
We're going to make